Lock this door. All right, we up.
All right.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we get started, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to where it's due to
Yeah.
Yahweh, Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash.
And double honors as always to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone who are well and who taught us truth. GMS Natural Brothers, back at you again with another Friday night lesson, all through the strength of Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash. And today we're just going to go into tribulation, temptations, trials, adversities that we must go through before we enter into the kingdom of the Most High, because it is written that before we get to the kingdom of heaven, there is things that we must go through, we must endure, we must bear in order to receive the kingdom of heaven, just as it says in 2 Ezra 7, you know, that straight and narrow path, and that being our portion, Matthew 7. You know, we're going to get into these scriptures. And it also says in 2 Thessalonians, the third chapter, that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we are in perilous times. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble, as the date of tonight is January 30th, 2026, our hopeful year of apostates, sellouts, and agents in the time of Jacob's trouble, because we are in the beginning stages of all hell breaking loose. Where look at what is going on around you. ICE, ransacking people's houses, just showing up, saying, deleting people. You got the war in Ukraine ramping up. You got the U.S. sending naval ships and the Armada to Iran. These things are intensifying. They're speaking about a military draft. These things are intensifying, but we must go through these things in order to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So, yeah, I'll just pull it out real quick. Acts 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples. Unless you had something you wanted to add, brother, scripture.
No. You good.
All right. So this is Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So it said, exhorting them to continue in faith, because that's all that we can do. You know, at the end of the day, that's what we're going to be saved by. You know, faith, of course, we know faith without works is dead, but we also know that faith is a gift, and you need that faith in order to call on the names of the Yahweh Shemi Yashai. And, you know, we're exhorting one another, hey, keep going, keep pushing. Yeah, we may go through trials, tribulation, temptations, and we must go through these things in order to get to the kingdom, but we must continue speaking myself first and foremost. So, you know, that's the message, man. Keep pushing forward, because we are going and we are entering and we are in trying times to test our faith, man. You got it, brother.
Real quick. Yeah, Salaki. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I got this Hebrews 12. And I'm gonna start at 4 because you know it says Hebrews 12 and 4, ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. So really we haven't resisted unto blood. You know, we haven't been persecuted in a manner of Revelation 12 and 4 yet. You know, we're going to be tried and tested. We're going to be pushed. And I can't even really say to our breaking point, but we're going to be pushed to a higher spiritual point, because you know when something break you, you know, you give in. So I'm not going to say we'll reach our breaking point. We're going to reach our higher spiritual point. You know, the highest, the most, the most high spiritual point that we ever have reached. You know, in our life. You know, and so I'm gonna keep reading. In verse 5, it says, "And ye have forgotten the exhortation. Many Israelites have forgotten the exhortation to continue. Woe to you that have lost patience. You know, and what shall you do when the Lord shall visit you?" So it says, "And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaking unto you as unto children, My son, despise not the chastisement of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him, because many people they fall out because of the hell that they catch. But compared to the hell that you catch out here in the world, it's a light thing. It's a light affliction,
Mm.
you know. And it says, "For whom the Lord loveth, he chastised and scourgeth every son whom he received." Then the next verse talks about you enduring the chastisement, and the chastisement is only for a short time.
Yeah.
But when you out here in the world, you're gonna constantly go through even worse things. Some people, you know, their life is good. Not to make this lesson about that, but just to say that, so-called, their life is good, and that's just for them for this time period, for a short time. But
Mm.
very soon, all of the nation of Israel will win, starting with the elect, the 1/3, the ones that endure and that go through that fiery trial. And then also too, because you was basically talking about finishing. So I was gonna get this one. This is in Corinthians. Hold on, let me get 1 second. Press toward the mark. Is it press toward the mark? Yeah. Or is it the prize? That's in Philippians.
Both.
Yeah, it was both of them. Yep, that's it. So I'm gonna get this Philippians 3:14. It says, "I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of," I'm gonna read it verbatim, "God and Mashiach Yahushua." So we're pressing toward that mark. We are seeking to finish what we started. Like how that parable goes into that guy that built it, the tower. Then he wasn't able to finish building that tower. You know, he was mocked for
Yeah.
not being able to finish. And that's a great example of us in the truth. You want to finish out. Whether you get kicked out of a camp, not because of doctrine or some other shit. You know, uh, you got to keep going. You still have a job to do. And you still want to have that mindset if you do hopefully let. So you got to put that on. And so it says, it says 15, "Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if anything ye be otherwise minded, God shall reveal them unto you." And I'm gonna stop right there. But the thing is, you want to press toward that mark. And also too, Slocky, bro, I have one more because you was talking
Yeah.
about the insurrection. So second Ezra 16, and let's see, 70. Yeah. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." And if you want to speak on it, you can too, bro.
No, you got it, bro.
Okay, it says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." So ultimately, this is what's going to happen unto the nation of Israel. So-called Blacks, Latinos, they Americans, Hispanics, and Israelite foreigners that look like the other nations, but they are of the nation of Israel. And really, too, the elect, the 1/3, because it says on down, "Then shall it be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." And then also too in Peter says, the judgment's gonna start at the house of Israel first. So the wicked Israelites, they're gonna go through it, but the ones who the Lord called the righteous or the virgins, which is the ones for 44,000 1/3, they're gonna go through it too. And that's Israel's portion, because you had quoted that second Ezra 7 at the end of that, it says that's Israel's portion. You
Right.
gotta go through this, you know and it's the last time that we'll ever go through this, and this also gives more fuel to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to destroy Esau even more, to add on the even harder judgment, captivity, and along with the other nations. You got it, bro.
Yep. Beautiful. Because I was just about to pull that out. Going into that's our portion. So we gotta no matter what is set in front of you, no matter what you're going through, you got to continue to push forward. Because as it is written in Luke 9 and verse 62, "And Yahweh said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High." So once you put your hand to the plow, once you say, "Yeah, I'm an Israelite," you start putting out lessons, start putting out videos. You watching. They as soon as you do that, man, they got your IP address. They know. They
Yeah,
see you. So if
yeah,
Esau can see you, how much more so Yahweh Shemi outside? He sees you. Put your hand to the plow, and then you look back, and you're not fit for the kingdom, man. So we got to continue
Mhm.
speaking myself first and foremost, no matter what, because we are coming into trying times. We're in trying times, and it's only going to get worse. With persecutions, brothers are going to. You got some brothers who are going to be martyrs for this truth. You got like the scripture say in that Hebrews 12:4 that the brother pulled. Man, you have not resisted unto blood, but we're about to enter into that time to when you're gonna have brothers that may have to put their life on the line for Yahweh Shem Yahshai, as it is written in 2 Ezra 2. It says, and I saw them which stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. So
Yeah.
this is Matthew 7, not Matthew, which you said I quoted it. So, I accidentally said that. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one. Matthew 7, verse 13. And it reads, enter ye in at the straight gate. And that word straight is S-T-R-A-I-T, which is going into a degree of difficulty. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So if you're trying to, pity paddle around the truth, that's not going to happen. You're trying to be a PC Israelite. You behind the keyboard. You're just living in the world, living in society, and that's the path that leadeth unto destruction, man. It says, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So there's going to be many people who go down that broad gate and lead to their damnation, to their destruction, to their death. But the ones who are going to endure chastisement, endure tribulation, endure temptation, endure persecutions, and even if it comes down to it, endure death, is the ones who are going down that straight gate, which it says in verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So if you're going down that straight gate, you're going to go through trials, you're going to go through tribulation, you're going to go through these tough times. But at the end of it, once we get to that goal, to that city that is set up on a broad field, to that sea which is full of all good things, we're going to receive life. We're going to receive salvation. We're going to receive crowns on our head presented to us by Yahushua. We're going to receive everlasting life. We're going to be saved from the second death, which all Israel is going to be saved. But the Israel that dies on this side is not going to be just some death that they just go through. Oh yeah, he died. He comes back. No, it's going to be a very gruesome and terrible death that these individuals go through, man. And that is something that we, the hopeful elect, do not want to take part of, man. So we're going down that straight gate and understanding that these things are going to happen. But as it is written in Isaiah 33:6, but wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua is his treasure. These are our treasures in the earthen vessels, man. This truth, the fear of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, knowing the names, knowing that we're Israelites, knowing that there's something better for us, and not just destruction, man. You got it.
Mm-hmm. No, I have none of this right now, bro. You keep going if you got something.
All right, I'm gonna get that 2 Ezra 7 then. 2 Ezra 7 and verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and it's full of all good things. And just Apostle Gabar had mentioned, a few years ago. He might have mentioned it a few other times as well. But when you read these scriptures, you got to and actually imagine it. What you're reading. So they said a city is built and set upon a broad field. So it's a big field, and a city is built and it's full of all good things. Everything to your heart's desire and righteousness, not wickedness, but righteousness. As it is written in Psalm 37 verse 4, I believe, delight thyself also in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. So everything that you desire in righteousness is going to be in this city, man. Everything to your heart's desire, man. But what does it say? Verse 7, the entrance thereof is narrow. So in order to get to this city, you got to go through this entrance. Now you got to imagine it. It's a narrow entrance. It's but at the end of the tunnel, you see that city. It says, and it's set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left of deep water. And you had the brothers send a beautiful description of that going up. Let me see if I can get that real quick right here, which I made my own little variation of it. I made the path a little bit more narrow narrower, but like it's. See if I can turn my brightness down. I think they can see it though. See that, man? So yeah, the entrance thereof is narrow and it's set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left of deep on one side and on the left of deep water. But at the end, you see that city though that is set upon a broad field. You got to imagine these things, man. This is what we see, man, through the spirit and power of Hashem Yashai. It says, verse 8. Second Ezra 7 and 8, and one only path between them both. There's no other way you can go. You can only go straight. There ain't no other way to the kingdom. There ain't no other way to salvation, man. The only way to the kingdom, the only way to salvation is go through this straight and narrow gate, man. Through this narrow gate that leadeth unto life, as it is written in Matthew 7. It says, verse 8, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. You can't hold hands right here, man. You can't walk side by side on this path, man. It's a straight path, straight, and you can't. You got to walk one at a time.
Yeah.
Verse 9, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? This is our inheritance. We got to go through this danger. We got to go through the trials, the tribulations, the temptations, the adversity. And what does it say, verse 10? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. This is our portion. This is what we must go through in order to enter into the kingdom. And through the spirit and power of Hashem Yashai, starting with our apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone on down, we've accepted that.
Yeah. And then so you said you got to have vision. So it says on Google, it says especially of a person thinking about or planning the future with imagination or wisdom. And so, we was granted that wisdom to see the kingdom via the scriptures, because the scriptures tell us to the best of this ability what the kingdom would be like, and everything that we say about the kingdom, what the scriptures say, and we bring it out, is true. So I'm gonna get this, and it's gonna be, I'm gonna put it in the form to where it's understanding. All right, because really when we read this, it's for other purposes, but we are, the visionaries, the prophets, Lord will, the seers, so to speak, and we have a vision, but you people are not seeing it. The ones who are not able to. So I'm gonna get this Proverbs 29 and 18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And as of right now, we were sold a false vision. I have a dream. You didn't have a dream. You saw a nightmare. You have all these other people saying, hey, this is the way to go. The nation of Israel, or us blacks, or us Latinos and Mexicans. No, the prophets of our people are telling you the vision. You're not understanding the vision, or you don't want the vision. So you don't have no vision, and y'all gonna perish. You have your own vision, which is a false vision. Satan's give you that. America's gonna be here 30 years, 1,000 years, and hey, that man, that's a vision of death, man. Because this is the place of our captivity. We can't do nothing. We're not living to our full potential as Israelites. Our mental capacity is limited. These bodies are limited. Food is limited. That's in the curses. We're not going to be able to prosper. What the fuck does Jake not understand? That's in the curses. You're not going to be able to have what you want here. So in order to have what you want, serve the Lord, come right back, hopefully be saved, have a new body, the kingdom of heaven, no more death. But y'all don't see that vision. And some of y'all do see the vision, but you don't want to go down the straight path. I mean the straight gate, which is going to be a brutal death, and you're not going to be in the same position as the elect men in the kingdom. Hell, even the wives of the elect men, they're not going to be put on a pedestal or nothing, but the living conditions. I mean, everybody's gonna live good in the kingdom of heaven, but you ain't gonna be like the elect, you know, the 1/3. So and I'm gonna read this Hebrews 12, I mean not 12, 13, and where's it at? Let's start at 14. For here we have no continuing city. And we see that that's part of the vision that we're telling you. You know, this is not our rest. Micah 2:10. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. And so we tell you this other vision. Look, the kingdom of heaven is going to be for us, our people. No more pain, sorrow. We're going to be together. Our Lord, first and foremost, will be on his throne. You know, our king will even be out of captivity. King David, you know, he's going to sit back on the throne. And forever happiness. And the heathen is going to serve us. This is the vision that we give you, but you don't want that, you know, because you're of the world. You know, you got it, bro.
Mm-hmm. And because that ultimate temptation, the ultimate tribulation is going to be when they mandate that Revelation 13:16 through 18. You know, that MOTB. And that's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
very trying period to test, you know, one's faith. Even
Yeah,
mine, you know, everybody's, man. It's me and myself first
everybody.
and foremost. You said what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll back you up. You said everybody, the whole world.
Yep, that's it.
One community.
As it's going to go into Revelation 3 and verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And when you get that word world here, it's going to be oikoumene. Yep, G3625 oikoumene, that inhabited earth, the whole inhabited earth, the inhabitants of the earth, men. So that's what Christians wish
Yeah.
was in
Mm-hmm.
John 3:16, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. What's in John 3:16 is cosmos, which is going into Israel. You know, just to throw that out there. But it says to try them. Now I want to get that word try as well. To try them that dwell upon the earth.
Strong's G 3985 Pyrazzo. Pyrazzo.
Pyrazzo. It says to try whether a thing can be done, to try, make trial, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality. What's your quality made of? Are you really
Mm-hmm.
about what you said you're about? Do you really believe like you said you believe? You said you were going to stand firm back in 2018. Well, what about now? when all hell is breaking loose, when they're mandating the MOTB, it says ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. How are you going to behave yourself when the MOTB is mandated and you ain't got no food? They just kicked you out your house. They just repoed your car because you couldn't make no payments because the only way you allowed to make payments is through that CHIP, but which you don't have. How are you going to behave yourself in those times? Are you going to keep the faith? Are you going to keep your integrity as Job did? Or are you going to, curse the Most High and die? Curse the Most High and sell your soul. Curse the Most High and get the CHIP. You think God cares if you get a CHIP? Come on, man. It says
Yeah.
to try or test one's faith, virtue, character by enticement to sin, the enticement to the MOTB, the enticement to their agenda. Because it's going to be, they're going to make it look fancy. They're going to make it look all cool, modernized, technology, and they're going to make it look good. You already seen what Nicki Minaj praising Donald Trump, so you already can tell that they're going to use celebrities to make it look cool and fancy. So they're
Mm-hmm.
going to make it look cool. So how are you going to react? It's going to be a very trying time, man. So like it says. Verse it says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Verse 11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. You can't let nobody take your crown, man. Nobody. Nothing. Because when you go into that word man there, it's going into no one, nothing. So you can't let
Yeah.
nothing, you can't let this slide, you can't let your friends, your family, and on this side. or in the world, your family in the world, your job, even yourself. Don't let yourself, because your flesh wants to take you out, man. Your flesh wants to say, just fuck it, dude. Fuck it, bro. Let's just go. Let's just go balls to the wall and do whatever. But your spirit is always, if you're a man of the Lord and you're doing what is required of you, your spirit's always going to check you and be like, nah, man, we good. Push forward. And that's the spirit that we must be in. Rather than being in the house of feasting, we're going to be in the house of mourning, which leadeth unto life, man. You got it.
Oh, I got this real quick. I got a quote, but I also got Galatians 5:17. It says, "For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other. So you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the spirit, you are not under the law." And so I read that because it says that it shows that the flesh is going to be warned against the spirit. It's constant. You know, the most or Jake, you're you're giving over to the flesh, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
know that's just what it is. Everybody is. You know, the scriptures say that no temptation have taken you that is not common to man, roughly paraphrasing. So it's going to happen. Then I got this quote. It says, hold on. Yeah, it says adversity. Yeah, adversity reveals a person's true character. Hardships, difficult situations. It says, and challenges in life shows a person's true nature, plus their integrity and core values. And so everybody, integrity will be, shown in that day. Everything will be seen, you know, and that's just what it is. If you're not the elect, you're not the elect. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But be thankful though that you are Israelite, you know,
Yeah.
because we are still thankful for that. Because we could have been a heathen, you know,
Yeah.
we could have been a
Oh,
heathen,
could have been
lived
an
it up.
Edomite.
Yep, a
Oh,
Hamite, over here in Babylon, or no telling, no telling. So, be thankful, be
mm-hmm.
happy that we didn't have this world, we didn't thrive, we didn't put the Israelites in captivity,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, be thankful for that because that's gone. That's about to be gone. That the old world is about to be gone. Us being the only slaves and all that, that's it's gonna be dead and gone. It should not come into your into mind nor be remembered, roughly paraphrasing. But the elect, we're gonna have some glimpse of what Lord with the elect. We're gonna have certain glimpses. The Lord's gonna give us something, to basically pay back these heathens. Oh, okay, y'all did this, but for the rest of our people, they're gonna have to be taught. Oh,
Yeah.
who the Edomites? Hey, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. All these the Edomites. Oh, okay, but they're gonna know the laws. you know, Ain't no more
Mm-hmm.
teaching that. Oh, these the Edomites right here. We're gonna have books on it. So this is about to be done away with. You know, you got it, bro.
You got anything else?
No, I don't.
All right, I'm gonna end it off right here in this John 15 verse 20, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It's written in red. John 15:20. Remember the word that I said unto you: the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. So, just like it says, man, just as Yahweh Shai said, man, we're not greater than Yahweh Shai. We're not greater than, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. We're not greater than Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. So if they persecuted Yahweh Shai, how much more so us? We got to go through this. We must go through this in order for us to enter into life, just so we can stand next to Yahweh Shai, man, on the right hand side. You don't want to be on the left hand side of that destruction, man, of that
Hmm.
judgment when it comes down. We want to be on the right hand side. Just as it says in Revelation 2:26 and in Revelation 3 as well. He that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, the same,
Yep.
roughly paraphrasing, shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging 12 tribes of Israel. It says that in Matthew 19 as well as in that Revelation 3, going into I'm just gonna pull it real quick. Revelation Revelation 2:26, and it reads, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father." So just as Yahweh I received, we're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh, Lord willing, we're part of the elect. And if we do overcome, we're going to receive that rod of iron just as Yahweh received, and we're going to rule the nation, man, which is what we want. But first, we got to go through the tribulation. So you said you ain't got anything? You want to add anything?
No, that was it.
Kind of. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the spirit, to the body, and to the fold. And before we end it off, we'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to where it's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and double honors as always to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.
Shalom.